Happy Mother's Day to all of you. I don't care what, if you have a fur baby, reptile baby that you're a mom to, maybe you're a surrogate mom, whatever. We're all moms to someone at some capacity. I don't care if you didn't give birth to the damn thing. Happy Mother's Day, okay? Because being a mom is being a parent is the hardest thing you'll ever do. And check out what Aiden gave me for Mother's Day.
It's a unicorn cupcake thing.
Yes, one of my cousins who knows that I love Hello Kitty knows also that I have a stuffed animal hoarding addiction. You all know that I struggle with a stuffed animal hoarding addiction. Found these Hello Kitty Squishmallows. Yes, I'm addicted to Squishmallows. I'm addicted to Hello Kitty, the best of both worlds. She found a bunch of these for me. She sent me a text message with all these, and I found one that I loved. And it is an ice cream cone Hello Kitty Squishmallow. And I got myself an ice cream cone Hello Kitty shirt that says, oops, I scooped it again. Instead of oops, they did it again. Anyways, so yes, this is my Mother's Day. And I am so happy because the day after Mother's Day, I get to spend with one of my surrogate mothers. My dad was a single dad for 9 years. We will get into that when Ada and I are in Georgia and talking about one of my surrogate mothers, the only surrogate mother that I have alive still. So that's why we're making a trip to go see them. Yeah. Anyways, all right. I want to talk about motherhood, being a parent. First of all, the hardest thing about being a parent, I've always said, is keeping your kids when they're little, toddler-like, good in restaurants, churches, out in public, right? Keeping them contained. How exhausting is that? Trying to keep them cute and adorable for people to enjoy, right? Because everybody likes kids, okay? Just like everybody loves the cute dogs and whatnot, but they don't want the screaming, the crying, that kind of thing. So some of the tricks that I did when Aiden was little, just to keep him cute and adorable for people to admire, was I would starve him. If we'd have to go out to a restaurant with family members or friends or whatever, I would starve him all day. Yeah, I know, Aiden, I'm sorry, but these are the tricks you have to use, okay? I would starve him all day so he would eat. Another thing that I used to do with you when you were a baby, Aiden, and you were, fussy, I would do stickers and stamps. When they're toddlers, like 1 or 2, where they're like, everything's amazing, right? How did it get there? Put a stamp on a toddler. Watch them try to get it off like it's a sticker. It's hilarious, right there. Keeps them guessing, right? The minute they cry, I'd stick a lollipop in their mouth. I did that with you a lot on the plane. My stepmother one time. Okay, this used to bug me so much. I always used to say that my stepmother was more religious than my dad, even though my dad was the ordained minister, right? Okay, so she wanted Aiden. She says, I want Aiden to see what your dad does for a living. Right? I think it was one of the times that my dad was filling in. He was preaching. In my family, when my dad was preaching or serving or whatever, he would say he's on. So my dad was on that Sunday, and she wanted Aiden. I think you were 2 at the time or something.
Oh my
and
God.
She wanted 2 or 3. I don't know. You were the wiggly ants in your pants, when they started turning into a boy, they're like, bang, bang, you're dead. You're like, what the freak? You were just like this cute baby. Anyways, he was at that kind of awkward stage, where it's everything like, kind of bouncing off the wall. Anyways, she wanted him to sit right in the front pew. What the freak, right? Really? Okay. So what I did, okay, fine. You want Aiden and I to sit in the front? Okay. I got my purse. Lollipops, whatever. I didn't care. I wasn't one of these parents that are like, no refined sugar or processed food. When you're a parent like me, you just get through, okay? That's my parenting style. I know everybody has their own parenting style, and I never knock parents, because the thing that pisses me off the most is the most judgmental people on parents are other parents. Why? We need to bond together. The thing is so freaking hard. Anyways, so I showed up to church, Aiden. My purse was full. And Grandma said, "What is this, 7-Eleven? Yeah, it's either 7-Eleven or we're sitting in the back. Okay, yeah, you take your pick." We went 7-Eleven. All right. I also want to talk about on this Mother's Day is how I decided to have Aiden. I know I talked about it briefly, but it was the weirdest thing. It's when my dad retired, Aiden, and your father and I went back for his retirement party, and I had a dream that I was having a baby with your father. And that is called, and I thought this was a myth. Like, you know, the fairy tale world I like to live in with the unicorns and the Pegasuses and the like. Okay, baby fever. I thought this was the myth, right? This whole, we all know the movie, My Cousin Vinny, with Marissa Tomei. My biological clock is ticking. I was like, what clock? I don't have a clock. I don't know what these people are talking about, biological clock. When I was Aiden's age one time, numerous times when I was a teenager, I would have dreams about having litters of kittens and puppies. And I would say, "Dad, what is wrong with me? I can't believe I'm having dreams about having Schipperkes." Yeah, I had a dream that I had Schipperke puppies because I grew up with Schipperke. And I was just like, I'm never having kids. And one time I told my dad, and this broke my dad's heart because my dad was a big time kid lover. My dad, Aiden's grandmother, and my sister-in-law, I consider them true kids people. I mean, they're so good with kids. I'm not great with kids. I'm great with animals. Thank God I didn't kill you, Aiden. But, you know, my dad, Aiden's grandmother, there's some people that are really good with kids. They love kids. They get down to their levels. They don't care, you know, if their hands are sticky and they're talking a mile a minute just like me, and they don't care. Anyways, they love them. So I told my dad, I said, when I was about your age, Aiden, I'm like, "Dad, like, why would you have a kid? Why would you bring someone into this world if you're just going to fight with them every day?" I told my dad that once, and he looked like I told him Santa Claus wasn't alive. Like, he was devastated when I told him. I'm like, "Dad, I'm not going to, like, ruin my body just to fight with somebody every day." And my dad was heartbroken, and he's like, and of course, my dad's super nice and understanding. So he'd be like, "Johanna, there's more to it than just that." That's what he told me. And it wasn't until my dad's retirement party, and your father and I went back to the Bay Area. And I think it's also because I am not a go with the flow person. I'm not I don't go deal well with change, that sort of thing. I think the reason why my baby fever kicked in around that time period is because I was in transitional life. I didn't realize the emotional impact I was going to have when my dad retired. Even though I hadn't gone to that church in a long time, it was a huge part of my life. You have to realize my dad started this church. This is so unusual for being a PK. Many PKs go through numerous churches. I grew up in that same church. Very unusual, very unusual. I was very fortunate in that sense. So I started at that church when my dad started the church when I was 3 years old. Yeah, I was 3 years old. So I grew up in that church, Aiden. And when it was time for my parents to leave, my dad and my stepmother to leave, I remember the day before, or that morning of the service, your father had a hard time getting me out of bed. I was crying. I felt like, because a chapter of my life was gone, and I was feeling that icky transitional period. And you know, what do we do when we feel icky, right? We're in another transitional period, going through grieving for my dad. You just kind of like, you're searching for things to make you feel better, okay? And I think I just really got that baby fever, and which I really thought was like a total myth until I got it, and I was like determined. I was like, oh my God, I want a baby, and you know, I'm an impulse person, and I'm emotionally driven. So the minute I wanted you, Aiden, I wanted you. Just like when I see a cute stuffed animal, I want a cute stuffed animal. You know, I just have impulse control on now. So I you know, so that's when I realized that I wanted a baby. And here's the thing. So when I told my dad, he was so happy. He's like, I need to sit. When I told him over the phone, he says, oh my God, Johanna, I never thought I would ever see the day. That's what my dad told me. He says, I never thought that I would see the day. And yeah. And I'm glad I had you, because now I have someone that looks like me. And I want to touch base on another thing, because one of my viewers had mentioned this to me, and this is something that I should address, and I think every adoptive child should address, okay? Now, I've used to have people that I hate this. God, I hate this term. And this is why when I was a kid, Aiden, I wouldn't tell people that I was adopted, okay? Because the first question, especially when you're younger, you know, little kids, oh, you want to go search for your real parents? I hate that term, real parents, okay? Real parents. Now, biological, I use that term a lot. My biological, or I'll say my, you know, the birth parents. Okay, I get that. But don't say real, because that is a slap in the face to the people that have adopted you, okay? Now, I have never had any desire to search for my birth biological parent. I'm not knocking adopted kids that do. I get it, because I have some of those insecurity adoption things. That's why I was, you know, when I had the baby fever, I couldn't wait to have somebody that looks like me. And you do, except he got 2 dimples and I only have 1. I got Jim. But, you know, so I have some of that. I think my need to belong, my people pleasing, interested in people, I think that's part of my whole adoption makeup there. But as far as looking for my biological or birth parents, I have never wanted to. I believe that everything happens for a reason. And my dad, I'm going to share the story on Father's Day, so you got to wait, as to why I'm adopted and what my dad went through. But my dad went through a tremendous amount of hoops and whatnot to adopt me. He really wanted me, just like I really wanted Aiden, and I felt content with the family that I was adopted into. I love the family I was adopted into. I love my aunt. My aunt is one of my surrogate mothers. So you know what? I'm so sorry. I have 2 surrogate mothers still alive. I do. So yes, everything happens for a reason. I'm content. So I have never had any desire to search for my biological parents. Maybe because I was adopted as an infant, 3 weeks old. It might be different for people that were older. You know, I don't know. But I never have. And yes. So if you're ever talking to somebody, Aiden, and they mention they're adopted, please don't say, have you ever looked for your real parents? Okay, don't say that, all right? I mean, honestly, that's as bad as saying somebody in a wheelchair, did you ever dream about walking? Or did you used to walk? I mean, that's just, that's horrible. Anyways, off topic. Back to Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all. I love being Aiden's mom. Our rules have kind of changed. Aiden ends up taking care of me more than I take care of him. But, you know, I always jokingly say that I'm making Aiden to be the best boyfriend, husband, I don't know, partner, or whatever, ever.
I actually want to tell a story here.
Oh, you do, Aiden? Okay, this is going to be a long Mother's Day greeting. Okay, tell a story.
So pretty much, when I used to go to a physical high school, they had you take this thing and it would pick a good occupation you would have. So I took this, and they're like, "Oh, you'd be a great caregiver."
Yes, that's right.
Like, I wonder why.
Yeah, I wonder why. Because they have an overdramatic mother that I take care of. Oh, yes. Yes, interesting. Yes. So like I say, Aiden is my caregiver. He does the cooking. He does the laundry. He does the cleaning. He watched a YouTube video on how to fold, because I never have had the opportunity to take it to fold. He would fold. He would like wash the laundry, and I'd come home that night and fold it. But yeah, no, I was so impressed the other day. Aiden folded his laundry. So more power to you, Aiden. Like I said, I'm making a very self-sufficient, good boyfriend, husband, partner, whatever you're going to be to somebody. Yeah, I'm breaking you in. I'm breaking you in, Aiden. Anyways, happy Mother's Day to all. I don't care what you have. Happy Mother's Day. Love to you all. Thank you so much for watching Johanna Banana. It's a boy. Yes, it's a boy. We are doing this bonus clip because one of my viewers just had a baby. And I'm going to take this off. I put on my baby blue neon wig and my feather boa because I'm just so excited for one of my viewers. But it's very itchy and it's really hard to share a story when I'm just like, not to mention Aiden's always laughing at me when I'm in my wigs, but I don't care. I love wearing these wigs and stuff, and I wanted to make a thing. Okay, so I want to give a shout out and some congratulations to one of my viewers who is celebrating their first Mother's Day. Yes, their first Mother's Day because, wig hair, because they just had a baby boy, Aiden. Yes, on May 1st. And Aiden and I, being the May babies, think that's awesome. So, now I want to tell you a little story about my viewer and why Aiden and I are just so excited for the birth of her first child. And she's celebrating her first Mother's Day. I mean, what a nice, and this baby came early. What a very nice, early Mother's Day gift to have your baby early. You came before my birthday, so it was a nice early birthday gift. And now, I don't know if you guys remember, please go back and review. But for those people that remember and binge watch my show, like Nikki, I shared a story of a young girl who lied to her mom. And her mom and I are good friends. I love her mom to death. Lied to her mom and said she was going on a sleepover. Yeah. And then her mom was like, why do you look so nice if you're just going to a slumber party with your girlfriends? Yeah, it was that story. So she and her husband have been married for many years. They have tried. They've had some disappointments, but now they have their son. And how I am friends with this viewer, and I'm good friends with her mom, is I worked with her dad. And Aiden's dad worked with her dad. Aiden's dad and her dad were very good friends. I was telling Aiden the story that when your dad first started working for the company that we worked at, I met Aiden's dad through work. The company that Aiden's dad and I worked for was a company that serviced and installed printing presses for newspapers. They've since gone under because nobody reads newspapers anymore. But so when your dad first started, the first foreman, because Aiden's dad is an electrician, so and so was my viewer's dad. He was an electrician as well. Was the foreman. So one of my viewers who just had the baby, her father was Aiden's boss, first boss when he first started, and so. That's how we know. That's how I know her and her dad. Her dad passed away, and this was so tragic because it was so unexpected. This was a little bit different than my father, who, had some health issues and he was 80. This was a very, very unexpected death, and it was really tragic. And we loved her father. We worked with her father, and we traveled in Chicago. We spent a couple summers in Chicago with them. Aiden was just a baby, and now it's so incredible that she has a baby. And so I just wanted to say happy first Mother's Day to you, girl. I am so happy that you have your son now. Thank you so much for sharing your story with how you and your husband met. And I would like to just also say happy Mother's Day to your mom. Love her. And let's remember your dad. I know he is looking down on you and your family right now and celebrating the birth of your son. And she did something that I did as well for my dad. Her son, middle name is the same name as her father, just like Aiden is Mr. Aiden Patrick after my dad. And so that's a great tribute. So even though we have lost our fathers, they live on through us. And that's what's important, is that we remember and we cherish that memory and we have them live on through other generations. And so thank you so much for sharing your story with us in our early Johanna Banana episodes. And happy Mother's Day to you, girl. If anybody deserves a happy Mother's Day, it is you. And I am so happy for you. Aiden's happy for you. Ruby is excited for you. And enjoy every moment of this baby, because one day they're going to be bigger than you. Yeah. And that's kind of weird. Happy Mother's Day, girl. And happy Mother's Day to all of you. Thank you so much for watching Johanna Banana.
God, it feels like there's